Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making French onion soup. It's a poor man's soup. That's the way I call it because of the ingredients. Leftover beef from the ropa vieja, onions, salt, pepper, olive oil, bay leaves, rosemary, thyme that we're going to put in a mesh tea bag. I am adding 1 piece of potato. I have two there, but I only use one for the starch. That's gonna thicken slightly the soup. The French usually use flour, but you know, I have a potato, so I'm putting a potato. And just one little piece, which is about a teaspoon of butter. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, and share. So I cut the onions that size because it's easier, to eat it with a spoon. So now we have the pot on the stove. I'm gonna bring it to medium heat, add the butter. Once the butter is foaming like that, we add the onions and we're going to caramelize the onions for about 15-20 minutes. We want them brown and sweet. We add the salt and pepper. The salt is going to make the onions sweat. Also, I forgot to put in the first frame the white cooking wine. I also have some oil bread. That's for the crouton that we're going to put on top of the soup once that is done. And we're gonna use cheese as well. I use Comté cheese. That was a cheap. Actually, that was interesting because it was cheaper to get that cheese than Mexican melting cheese. So that's what I use. You can use Gruyere or probably any cheese that you can find to melt. And we're going to gratinar or gratinate the soup, the cheese. So 15-20 minutes later, the onions are brown, so we're going to deglaze with a wine. Okay. And that's gonna give the soup its characteristic color in addition to the beef broth. Remember, the beef broth is the beef broth that I have from the ropa vieja when I made the ropa vieja. So you don't throw that away, you save it. I added the potato, and I just want that to release a little bit of starch so that the soup is not too watery. It has a little bit of consistency, and it has the mesh there with all the herbs, which is going to make it easier to pick up and remove. We're adding I let the wine boil for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're adding the beef broth. That's about 800 milliliters, and that's about 2.5 servings. So you have enough soup for 2 people easily. So we're gonna bring that to a boil. Then we're going to simmer for another 15 to 20 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to work on the crouton and taste it. Don't forget to taste it and correct for salt. I added a little bit more of rosemary because I like that pine sort of flavor, that forest flavor. So now the soup is done. We remove the mesh. See how easy it is? So you just throw away the herbs inside there, and then you just wash the mesh, and you're ready to go. Now I'm making the crouton with a little bit of olive oil just to slightly brown. We're gonna add the bread on top of the soup. We're gonna add the cheese. Put the soup bowl on a tray. Put it in your toaster oven or your air fryer oven or your conventional oven on the broiler setting to gratinate the cheese, to brown the cheese, to melt it. and you're ready. I mean, it's super easy to make, so I don't see why you wouldn't do it, and it's absolutely delicious. The sweetness of the onions and the acidity, if you will, of the thyme, and the taste of forest from the rosemary and the melted cheese is just amazing. That thing will cost you $15 around here, so for one bowl. And that's all. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.